Hello everybody and welcome to my complete Path of Pain guide. Uh, my name is Clarkatron and today I'm going to be showing you how to complete Path of Pain. So you can see at the top left here I have both debug mod and quality of life installed. Those are just going to be to help me show you how to do certain sections. So for example, okay, so the first thing that you want to start out with when you're doing Path of Pain. First off, go to White Palace, complete the first sections so that you're able to unlock this elevator up here, and that's about it. And then, so what you want to do is kind of save this bench, right? But charms are very important for Path of Pain, and your charm loadout is going to be super important when completing it. So you want to have kind of the right charms equipped. And what I always do when going for charms is, from a casual's perspective, these charms, as basically anyone will say, are the best charms to use. Hive Blood and Grub Song, for just as a basis, because Hive Blood allows you to, regain your last mask after a certain amount of time, which is helpful on the different sections if you need to wait and you can just regain that last bit of HP that you lost if you're constantly just throwing yourself at a section, especially if there's not a soul totem right there to gain soul off of. And Grub Song is you take damage when you get hit, so that combined with this kind of just gives you free soul as to when you get hit if you wait long enough. So those are just good to have, especially if you're with the limited amount of masks that you have. Another great charm that I always use is Quick Slash, just because if you're getting yourself in like a semi-scary situation where you're about to get hit by thorns or spikes or whatever else, and you're kind of like spamming your attack button as a safety. Quick Slash is just kind of good to have, as well as it's just good to have. It allows you to attack quicker, slash quicker downwards to pogo on spikes or saw blades or whatever else. Long Nail is another one that I use just because I think that the added nail length is pretty good, especially when helping to time your swings on the later sections as well. Mark of Pride I would recommend not using, because while Long Nail increases your length, yes, Mark of Pride does so, but it does so at a kind of excess amount, so that when you end up using it not at the right time, if you are bad at timing things, you end up using Mark of Pride, you might hit ceilings when trying to pogo saw blades or spikes, and you don't want that, especially in the later sections, which take more time. And then since you have one charm left, you can literally just use any other charm, so that's one. Just pick whatever you want. I just wouldn't recommend Thorns of Agony, I guess. I generally just go with either Steady Body or Sprint Master, and I'll just go with the Sprint Master for this one, just because that added mobility is just a little nice to have, especially in the air. What I would recommend for if you're trying to complete Path of Pain for the first time on a casual run, I would not recommend using Dash Master, and I'll show you why. Is because when using Dash Master, you dash quicker, so you can just go like this, and it's a lot faster than in succession. So it's nice to have on sections where you're in the air and you just come off the platform and then you can dash twice instantly. But I would not recommend using it because of this feature right here, the downward dash. If you're dashing downward, or if you're pressing down to dash downwards and holding a direction to dash a direction, the dashing downwards will overtake the dashing the direction. So if you hold both, you'll end up dashing downwards instead. So especially if you're trying to pogo different things, like pogo and then dash, or dash and then pogo something. Or sorry, if you're trying to pogo then dash super quickly, there's one part, the horizontal room in the section with the saw blade is kind of one example of that, where you need to do that. You'll end up doing that, and then just end up dashing downwards instead of dashing the direction that you want. So I would not recommend using Dash Master, just because it's it's really hard, and it just gets frustrating if you have it equipped and then don't want to reset your run after equipping it. So I'd recommend not using it unless you have quality of life mod installed. But you know, you wouldn't on a casual playthrough. So the way that you find Path of Pain is you come up this elevator right here, and you come up to this next room, and then right where there's this saw blade, there's going to be a breakable wall that takes 3 hits, right here, and you just jump in here. There's a little black room, you know, that's right here, and then you can just walk through. And this is where you will find Path of Pain. So there's a cool little seal of binding right here with a nice mask at the top. And there's an inscription that reads, "To witness secrets sealed, one must endure the harshest punishment." Yep, this is the hardest part of Hollow Knight. Welcome to hell. So yeah, if you C-dash here, this is just a good thing to note. If you C-dash right here, and you stop before these spikes, because otherwise you're going to get hit. There's an infinite soul totem. So these are scattered throughout Path of Pain, and are exclusive to Path of Pain. These things will give you infinite souls, unlike at other points in the game. So you can just hit these as much as you want, and they're super helpful for just all the different sections. You know, when they're there. So when starting out with Path of Pain, you want to jump to your full extent of your height, so you want to get to up here. And then also, once you do that, you want to wings to get to this jump, to wings to your full height as well. Because what generally ends up happening is like people don't jump to their full height, or they don't wings to the full height, and then just end up like bonking right here and just like getting it and just getting caught off, and then they can't like, you know, use it to get up. So just jump to the full height, wings to the full height, and you'll get right there. Jump across and wings, jump across and wings, jump across and wings back, and you'll get to right here. And now what you want to do here is, there's kind of 3 ways to wall stall. You want to wall stall until that saw blade above is at its lowest point, and that's when you want to go. So there's 3 ways to wall stall. One, what I'm doing now, which is just like repeatedly jumping on the wall to just, you know, gain your height back after, and you can just stall like this. You can also just C-dash and then jump up, which is fairly easy, but not what I prefer, as you can see there. Or you can just, you know, constantly bugger this until you need to go on the wall and then jump off. So yeah, you want to wait till it's at its lowest point and then go. So you want to jump, dash, and then go. And right here you want to go just to this area so that you can stall until it goes down, and then you want to jump up, go, pogo wings mold, get to here. And then you can stall on this wall, or just, you know, go, jump, dash, pogo wings mold, wings to readjust, and then dash through, wings to readjust again, and then dash through. And then right here, this can be kind of tricky, but what you want to do is, you want to get kind of comfortable with this first wings mold here, until you're at a comfortable pace, so that you don't, you know, you're not gonna like wings into the top one above to get hit into spikes. And then when you're ready, you can just move over to the left, go to the second one, or sorry, move over to the right, go to the second one, move over to the left, go to this one, and then you can either jump, not too high though, because then you're gonna hit, but you can either jump then go to the wall, or just go to the wall with the dash. So here's this section again. There you go. And then once you're on this wall, you're gonna probably want to wall stall with C-dash here, because what you want to do is you want to just wait until this spike right there is at its highest point, and then you want to follow it down, jump, dash across to this wall, and then you can wall stall by either doing one of the 3 strategies that I talked about earlier, which is this, or just this until it goes up, and then you want to go under it and fall to this saw blade right here. You can choose to fall to this one as well if that is easier for you, but honestly just go to either one, and then, you know, you want to go here, and what you want to do on this one is get a feel for it, you know, just like stay calm, and there is a little part here that you have to basically kind of time correctly when falling into it, so, you know, be cautious of doing that. But what you kind of want to have to do is just go, and oh, and you want to fall between that spike and that, yeah, you want to fall kind of between that spike over there and that saw blade. And then fall down, and then just like, you can stay here, or you know, if you're skilled enough, you can literally just dash, but you just poke at this until you get a feel for it. Go down to this one if you feel like you need, but from here you literally just need to just go over here and then drop, or you can just from here or the one above it just dash across and then drop down here. And that is section 1, so I'll run through it again super quickly from here. You know, you just want to go wings. You gotta use wings and dash a lot, but you kind of just want to avoid that saw blade by either going on the wall there or just going past it. Pogo these king's molds, go across, get a feel for this one, go right, left, go down on this wall, dash across, avoid that giant saw blade, go to this one, go down. Oh, that's also kind of a reason you want to try to dash instead of pogoing that one, because you might end up hitting that saw blade. And if you do that, you kind of just need to learn to time your dash, and I'll show you what timing a dash would look like here. And it's kind of just something you want to learn the timing of. It's pretty easy to get, to be honest. It's not too precise. So, you know, you can literally just dash across. Like, it's fairly easy with that last section. But yeah, that's the first section of Path of Pain, and once you beat that, it's pretty easy from here on out. Actually, you should be able to make it all the way up until the final section. If you can beat the one above, you can beat all the way until the end. Like, it's if you're good there and you can complete it with trial and error, you can complete the rest of it. So there's another infinite soul totem here if you need to heal, but you know, you have Hive Blood, so, and Grub Song, so it really shouldn't be too much of an issue. But for the second section, you want to just come off here and dash to the wall, and you want to C-dash here until you're generally in line with this knob. You want to be slightly below it, so like generally right where I am, but you know, if you're directly in line with it, that still works. You just kind of want to make your way through there with the C-dash, and then once you get to here, wall stall until you can go and dash, and then yeah, same with this one, go and dash down instead of wall going over, go over, pogo the wings mold, pogo the wings mold, pogo, 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 wings, and you're right here. And that's that section complete. Like, it's super simple to do, and I don't really think I should need to show it again. It's fairly simple, you know, just do it. It's not too hard, and you should be able to get it with fairly easily. And then the tip I have for this kind of vertical room to get up to the next section is what you want to do is make your way all the way so you're in line with this wall, and then you want to full hop until you know, come off that. Oh, you want to full hop until you come off this to then wall jump up, and then you want to get like basically in line with the right there where my nail is, the top of my nail is right there, and then go to the next one over, and then wings up, cling to the wall, wings up, and you should be up already. So like that. Just like that. Like, it's super easy. I'll show it again just if people need to see it. But wall jump, align yourself there, wings to align yourself here, wings up, and you're right here with another infinite soul totem. Fairly easy, and you should have Hive Blood even if you fail at that transition section. You should get it with relative ease. But this next section can be kind of tricky, so what I generally end up doing is from here I drop down, and then once I come off this, I just dash to get over to this wall. One thing to note is that with that dash right here, you might end up oh, not that. You might end up doing this. Oh, not that either. Okay. You might end up doing that, where you just dash into the wall at the very like lowest point, because you'll technically come off the wall, but you won't be clear of the barrier. So what you kind of just want to do is to stall your dash, like, oh, Sorry, meant to heal. Stall your dash like a fraction of a second. Stall your dash a fraction of a second so that, you know, you can just come off and dash just like that. And then what you want to do is here is you want to wall jump twice on this to then get over here. And just come up and you want to pogo this saw blade right here until you can get a feel for it and time your dash. And then you want to time your dash and just make it across. And then you can either pogo this one or just, you know, wings up. And you're at the next section. So I can show that again. Come off this wall, dash, jump, jump, come across, and then you're up. There is another strategy for that second jump, and that's to do this, is you can just jump twice, and then you can literally just wings over if you want to, instead of going to the other wall, but it's generally the same. Like, you can do this wall in a multitude of combination of ways. Like, you can wings, and then just dash through, and then pogo. Or you can literally just not even, you don't even need a wings here, you can just do that and then dash through and then make it up. Like you don't even need to pogo at all. It's a fairly simple room with a multitude of combinations. I just pogo kind of to be safe and just to get my wings back if I need. But yeah, that's that room. It's fairly simple. Yeah. Alright. Now this room can be super tricky. Okay, so what you want to do is, you see that moving saw blade on the floor there. You want to make sure that that moving saw blade, when you go, is as far to the right as possible. So you want to go right after it starts going back left. And what you want to do is you want to clear that saw blade, wings, and then get to where that first knob is. Right here. And then you want to go to the other side, and then jump across till you get to this side. And then at this one you can either like wall stall to just wait for the saw blade to be out of position, or you can just go if you're fast enough. But you want to come off that wall, dash, wings, and then that's the entire section, and then just go up. So it's like you can just stall here if you need. Oh, was a little low there. Oh my god, what am I doing? Yeah, and that's that. Like, you just gotta dash under this saw blade. Just make sure that you don't dash too early, because otherwise you're gonna hit that top saw blade right there. Yeah, I'll show this section again, actually. And make sure you do have enough soul here. This is also one of the sections where you might end up getting like super low in health. Just, you know, wait for your hive blood masks to recharge. Don't go too quickly. Don't make stupid mistakes. It's fairly simple. Come to this wall, jump over, C dash to stall, go when that one is over to the right instead of the left. Oh, don't know what that was. Or, you know, you can just drop without even touching that wall. Like, it's faster, and you might be able to just time your dash quicker from coming off the wall to just dropping through. It honestly is preference there. And then you're at the next section here. Just make sure to still have soul ready and, you know, masks rechargeable. But for this section, you kind of just want to wait till this one's at all the way to the left, and then right when it goes to the right, you want to go. You can dash twice or dash once. But what you want to do right when you get to this section, you know, pace yourself, right? But generally what you want to do is when it goes to the right, goes back to the right, you want to jump, wings, dash, pogo, dash again, and then you'll be done. So wings, oh shoot, was too low there. Yeah, you can dash twice or once there, but you want to wings, dash, pogo, dash again, and you want to dash. You want to do it semi-quickly so that you make sure that you're not either you don't hit at the top or hit at the bottom. And then once you get here, you can just generally it's good to just wait for the saw blade, wait so that it goes forward and then back, and then once it goes back, you can just dash through and get up, and that's that entire section. It's super easy. It's super easy to get, but I'll oh, forgot to save state. But I'll show it one more time just for the sake of it. There we go. So yeah, just go, and then you're done with it. You can either choose to go right then, or you can wait for it. I would recommend waiting for it just to make sure that it doesn't catch up with you and hit you at the very end, because, like, for example, if you choose to go now, like, it could easily just catch up to you and hit you right there, right when you're about to finish it. Oh, you know, or you could end up hitting the top. That's why long nail is a bit tricky, but, you know, for it, just make sure you're fairly low to the spikes when you go. Just like, I just end up doing that just because it's easier and it gives you more time to react when getting up here. And now that you're at this section, what you can... there we go. What you can do here is just... What you want to do here is jump here, and then get to basically this knob. And you want to be like right above this knob and just jumping off it while still, and then what you want to do is full jump, dash through the spikes. So get to right here. Time your dash, dash through. Just continue here by going with your, you know, your nail. You can wings here and dash over, like that, over that saw blade, or you can literally just go over it with your nail. Like it's honestly just preference. And then on this part, you kind of want to just you'll end up hitting that if you try to just go through it with yeah, you'll end up hitting it if you try to just go through with nails. So you want to dash through that little last section right there. But you want to wait for that saw blade there to be at its lowest, and then you want to dash through, and then wings, and then wait for it to be at its highest, and then wings again, and then you'll be directly on this wall. So from here, it's fairly easy from here on out. You're basically halfway done, but you want to dash here and get to C-dash there, get to this, jump over that, wait for this one, and then just go with it, and then you're honestly just done already. Like, it's fairly simple. Then once you can do that, you can, or I should probably show that. I should probably show that again, to be honest, but it's, yeah, it's fairly simple. Just make sure that you end up going over this one. So like you C-dash until you're right here, jump over that one with wings. You can either wait for this one or go instantly, but just like, then you can just take it all the way across, and then you should be completely fine. And then once you can do that, you can bop this lever, which will get rid of the door, fall here, and then the door here is now gone. And you can make your way to the next section, so you should be... Yeah, you're about halfway done when you get to this point. A little over halfway done, actually, so congratulations. This next section can be fairly tough. This is the one section that I actually had to look up my first playthrough, because I was unsure of how to do it. So the way that you want to kind of work with this section here is wait for this saw blade here to go up, and just dash to the other side, right here. Wait for it to go up again, then come up to here. And there are two ways to do this. I'll show the kind of traditional way first, and then I'll show the way that I always do it, and kind of the speedrunner way, I guess. But wait for this saw blade to go up again, like the other one, and then you can go up after it, and you want to just dash through and make it over to here. And then you kind of just want to like wall stall on this wall until both of those saw blades go up to their respective locations. Oh, and then you want to jump over there and get to the other side. Oh my god. And that's kind of why you don't want to rush it, because you'll get hit there. But wait here. Go over to here. Ah! No, I fell. Oh, I did not save it. Okay, well, that's kind of that way, and then you want to just come off that wall and then wings to the other side of it. So it's a little hard and it's a little tricky to get, but once you can get it, it's fairly easy. I just never really go for it, and I've never tried going for it, so it's a little out of practice for me. You can honestly, yeah, dashing is probably easier. Wait for that one to be down. You can see dash on this wall to save this one. and then you make it up here, and that's just one way of doing it, is coming off that wall, and you want to, that's the way of going around. But the way that I do it is, instead of going around and, you know, waiting for that one, what I end up doing is, when I see this one come up, that's when I go, and then I wait on this wall a bit, and ooh, Minsu. Oh jeez, nope, don't want to get hit by that. What I end up doing is when I see this one go up, I just go up with it, and then I can just pogo this, actually. You can pogo it as it comes down so that you get all the time with up, so that you can just work with. So it's much easier to just pogo it and go up, and then go up with this one, and then C dash on the wall cling to stay out of its path, and then just come up. That's the way that I've always done it, and to me it's just so much easier to get the timing of. And then you should be up to this next section, so I'll show that section one more time, but it's fairly simple. Yep, and that's about it. I would say just the only thing that, you know, from there that I would do different is it's so helpful, like ridiculously helpful, to just wall cling here, just to make sure that you're in the correct position and that you don't get hit by that saw blade going up or down. And then you can just complete this other part fairly simply. And that's that. And then you're on the next section. So this is section 7, which in my opinion is the hardest section. Yeah, this one or the second one, this one or the next one is probably the hardest section, but people consider section 1 and 8 to be the hardest, but this one is also fairly hard, so, you know, if you have trouble with it, don't rage quit or anything like that. Thing to note is that about, in this section here, there's this wall, which is not breakable, but it is pass-throughable. You can pass through it. And there's an infinite soul totem here, so feel free to replenish your health as much as possible when doing this. It definitely helps, trust me. But yeah, so there's this wall, make sure to use it. And from here, what you want to do is just C-dash, stop your C-dash, wings up to get to this wall, pogo the wings mold, pogo the wings mold, come up, pogo the wings mold, dash when that one's down, poke the wings mold, dash when that one's down, poke the wings mold, dash through when that one's down, and you'll end up here. And what you want to do is you want to aim for this one instead of this one, because then if you're trying to go down to the other one, you'll like get hit by this top part and be forced down, which could easily just propel you into spikes. And this is also one of the reasons right here, this section, this room, I guess this area, is also another reason why we have a long nail. Because it's just so much easier to time your jumps, and the quick swing just makes it all the better. Definitely use long nail and quick. I said long nail. I'm thinking quick slash. It's easier to time your jumps, and it's just helpful when you do something like that where you know you get forced down by this little lip in the room on your character. So what you want to do is just, this one's pretty easily. You want to just come to the edge of this saw blade and just time it and dash through. And what you want to do on this one's super hard. This dash right here is probably the hardest dash in my opinion, like hardest singular dash in Path of Pain. You want to basically get as close to this saw blade as possible, so that you're able to do this and like pogo it and just be above it without or like be above it or next to it with just pogoing off of it. And then what you want to do here is time your dash low, and then you want to wings. So there's two ways to do this. You can either time your dash low and wings, or time your dash low and just pogo on that next saw blade. So I do both ways. So here, I'll show you wings first, and then I'll show you dash, and then I'll show you just pogo. So yeah, time your dash low, and then just wings up, and then you can get to this one, dash across, and then you can either just wings up from here to get to that, or, you know, if you want to, you can go to this one and then wings up, either way. But that's that section completed, so let me show you one more time. Again, you want to C-dash here, come up here to this wings mold. Yeah, just kind of time your jumps here. These are fairly easy to get. You know, if you need, you can just pogo again on the wings molds if they're like, if the saw blades are in the wrong position or whatever. But always, except for at the very last, or no, yeah, no, sorry. Always when stuff like that, when you're trying to dash between two saw blades or something of the sort, always wings first to readjust and then dash. Generally, you want to dash then wings on, like, if you're trying to get height or go to a certain place. But if you're trying to dash between two things, like a wall and a spike, or just two saw blades or whatever, always wings to readjust first and then dash if you're trying to get inside a gap. Again, get to as close to this as possible so you can basically pogo on it. So I showed you wings last time, I'll show you just pogoing this time. So you want to, again, dash low, and then basically this thing goes so low. Like, you can pogo it here. It's crazy how low it can be. But yeah, get as close to this one as you can without touching it, and then just dash, and you can pogo it so low. You can pogo it right here. It's actually crazy. Like, you can't see it, but you can pogo it. So pogoing is also a fairly easy method of doing it. But I generally just opt for wings because I think it's, I don't know, I just think it's easier. I did my first Path of Pain run when doing wings. I just end up always going for it. But you know, you can honestly just do either method. Although the pogo might actually be easier for some. So, you know, it's up to you. And then yeah, just from there, just dash and then get up to the next platform. And here is generally considered by a lot of people the hardest section of Path of Pain. It's very, very hard. And I'm gonna attempt to show you how to do it. Yeah, so okay, when doing section 8, this, you honestly don't have to go right here and then, because like timing that pogo is so hard. Timing the pogo there and then jumping and then timing the pogo there just to get over to this one, to get across. Honestly, one of the hardest things, right? So what we do is we C-dash and we skip it. We C-dash and we skip it to just automatically put ourselves in the first section. Because like bothering with pogoing those is just honestly one of the hardest things, and you're gonna have to worry about it later in this section, but it's just hard. Keep in mind that as the final section, this is also one of the longest, and there are 2 King's molds at the end. So the way to and they keep in mind that they do double mask damage. So on those final King's molds, you're going to want to de-dark them as much as possible for the invincibility frames, like, because you know, when in doubt, spam descending dark. So make sure that whenever you try and attempt, you're 1 at full masks and 2 at full soul. Like, you'll be incited to just go after an attempt to then go back and try again, but just like make sure that you're at full soul and make sure that you're, you know, healed up at full masks. Because when you get to the final section, if you die to those wings molds, you reset. Do not die to those wings molds. You will be at the bench again, and you will have to go through the entirety of Path of Pain in an attempt to complete it. Do not die to the wings molds. Trust me, you're gonna want to be at full masks and full soul. So what you want to do here is C-dash across. Oh, not like that. C-dash across, come off this wall, dash, come off this wall, dash, wings. And you want to kind of time your wings so that you can time it with these. And this is kind of hard to get, so you kind of have to know either to, when coming off of, I tried to get back there. You kind of have to know when coming off of this wall right here, you can either go on the bottom or go up top. It's just easier to jump up top. But you kind of need to know when coming off of this wall here, how you want to dash up, and you kind of just need to know how to time your wings. So if it needs to be like a short hop or a long hop, and that just comes with practice at doing the section. Like it's hard to time, but you know, once you learn it, you can get it fairly easily. And then once you're here, you know, you can just full wings and just time this, and you got it from here. Just to stall here, and you want to go when this saw blade is as far. Oh, apparently not. Apparently I don't got it. Yeah, you want to go when that saw blade is as far down as possible. So from here, go when it's down, and then when it starts to go back up, you come across, and that's when this one comes over. And then when that one comes over and starts to go back, you want to pogo this one so that this one will come over. And then when these are all down, you just want to pogo across and make it to these spikes right here. Now all of that above, all of that behind me is fairly easy, and that strategy works generally 100% of the time. So yeah, when you get to the spikes, it can be fairly hard. You kind of want to time it, because what you want to do... Oh, I tried to go when it's fairly high peak. So what you want to do, right, is... Yeah, you want to kind of just, you know, pogo these across, wings, dash wings to readjust. Pogo these across, make sure that you're not too high. But this section here is like the hardest singular part of Path of Pain, in my opinion. Hardest dash was one section earlier, hardest part is right here. But you want to go when that one is at, like, coming back. So you want to predict when this one is coming back, and then you want to go when it comes back. So it's hard to get, but it's honestly, you just have to predict it. Like, you can count if you need to by just continuously poking on this spike. But just make sure that you can get it. So I'll go right now. And then once it comes back, you want to follow it. So then go under it and get to right here. And once you get to right here, you're basically golden. Because this right here is fairly hard, but I'll show you kind of how to do it incorrectly. Right, so remember how I said back to whenever you're trying to get through a small area, you want to always wings and then dash, because you want to readjust to make sure that you're at the correct, you're at the correct position at like Y level, or sorry, X level to, you want to make sure that you're at the correct X level to then get it so that you can dash correctly into the certain spikes. So, yeah, getting under that first section, getting to that saw blade is one of the hardest things that you can do. But you will die a lot there, so just, make sure that you can get back fairly easily, have this section practice so that, you can get here. And then predict when it's going to come back, and then go. Go with it, stay with it, go under that saw blade, and just pogo here. And then when it goes to the right, that's when you wanna pogo it, or that's when you wanna come off and then pogo it. So yeah, right there, you always want to wings first, because you're trying to get, oh jeez, you're trying to get through that like fairly small area. You want to always wings first and then dash, because if you dash and then try to readjust with wings instead of doing it the opposite way, you'll end up hitting the top, or you'll end up hitting the top or the far right wall. Here's another option of doing it. Wings, go through. Because like if you wings here, oh dang it, I tried. Oh, what the heck? Yes, eating jump inputs is always a good thing. Yeah, and this is kind of the section why you don't want Dash Master, because you'll just end up, because you're trying to hold down to pogo the spikes and then dash, and it just, will not help if you're dashing down into saw blades. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna show you why you don't want to dash and then wings. Oh, well, that's kind of the main reason. You see I dashed there and I dashed too low, and then I just hit the spikes, or the saw blade. So you always want to make sure that you're not doing that so that you can fall into the final section correctly. Oh, I was expecting to be able to poke that one more time. Yeah, it does kind of go relatively fast, so just make sure that you, that saw blade at least, just make sure that you're, you know, able to do it. And be careful in those sections. You know, mask-wise I should be fine, but, you know, it's always good to heal just in case. And, you know, Hive Blood does help with that, because if you're able to do this section consistently, the mask will replenish. And then you go down. Then wings, dash through, and then just make sure you don't like go too far left or right there, and then you'll get into the final room. So with these guys, oh, they do double mask damage. So if you end up getting hit by them, yeah, see, I lost 2 masks there. You can like choose to just fireball them a bunch, but you know, best thing to do is just D-dive. Just D-dive a bunch and just spam it, and that's why you want kind of full soul at the end, because if you just spam it, you'll end up being fine. And that's it. That's Path of Pain completed. The Wings Molds is a fairly easy fight. You kind of just want to dash over them, poke at them like once or twice, and then just spam down and soul to Desolate Dive. And that's Path of Pain. And you get to watch this cool little cutscene, and you will be done with it. And now that you've done it, you're now locked out of it, so you can't you know, get back into it. It will block this wall off, and you will not be able to complete it again on that same save file at least, unless you have the Quality of Life mod installed, which allows you to complete it multiple times. But congratulations, you now have completed Path of Pain and gotten the coolest journal entry in the Hunter's Journal, the Seal of Binding.